Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis with your host,
Hi,
Marco.
Nick.
Ah, fuck.
You missed. Do it again.
Do it again. Take it over. Now we're live. All right. Hey there. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your host, Maxwell Starr and Greg. We're going to take a look at something that this boy over here, Jamie, sent most of us, if not all of us, Rat Queen de la Muerte from Barncat in, where is it?
Cambridge, Ontario.
Cambridge, Ontario. It's like near you, isn't it? It's like near Kingston.
Hi, Nick.
Or not Kingston. Kitchener.
Kitchener area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Right on. Hi, Greg. Yeah. What the fuck?
1 hour
Greg?
away from the Mecca of Canada, Toronto. About an hour away from Toronto.
Center of the
Nice.
universe.
Nice. All righty. So, yeah, interesting beer tonight. Whopper, 11.5% ABV, spiced Imperial Stout. We'll get into more details here in a moment. But first, let's introduce who we have with us, starting with Rouge Beard.
Hi, Carrie.
The beard of red.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No,
Want to
thanks
say
for coming
first
on.
off, thank you so much, Jamie, for this beer. I haven't had anything by Rat Queen until the beers you sent, and definitely the one that I've been looking forward to. The other ones I had were okay, but this one, high hopes. The hopes are high.
Get high hopes. All right. So, and of course, we got Gorg, everybody's favorite Gregos de los Muertos.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Greg.
I'm very excited. Thank you, Jamie. And, since, Jamie, you were nice enough to send me a beer, but not nice enough to send me a glass, I picked my own glass that I feel you would love. So I've got my Wellington Brewery juice glass that I know you love. That I got with my UVB 76, and I'm going to put these two together, and I feel this is going to be the ultimate Jamie tribute episode.
Look what I've actually got in front of me as well.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
We're all tributing Jamie.
I like that nice
yeah.
thick rim. It's really high quality, that glass.
You know it, man.
I guess
So you can grab it with your fingernails like that. Hold it.
All right. Speaking of tributing, hi, Jamie.
Hi.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. And I'd go and get my glass, but I put it directly in the recycling bin last week. I didn't even use it once. I threw it away. And yeah, I'm excited to try this beer for the second time. I bought one of these before.
You were that pissed off at the UVB series for including glass instead of a fourth beer.
I did.
Wow.
Chucked it. Gone.
Chucked it. Don't need the fucking glassware.
How are you, Nick?
I'm not doing too bad. Crazy busy fucking day at work. It's got me well, anyway, I'm tired. All right. Let's bring it over to me.
Sleepy
and
boy.
I'll talk. I'm actually going to use a glass that kind of tributes to Jamie too, but in a good way. Proper glassware tonight. This is actually a glass that Jamie sent to me with the beers that he sent me back. When did she send me that? It was like September, wasn't it?
I think so. Maybe even before that. I don't know. It was a while ago.
I don't even. That's weird.
I thought you broke that glass.
No, I broke the Revenant's glass. The other one.
Oh,
that's the one that.
That's actually the one that I'm using tonight. The Reverence.
Oh, you get the other one, the Reverence. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm sorry about that, but shit happens. We took it over to the.
I am happy that you broke it because it was during a good time. No worries.
Well, it kind of was because we were packing up at the end of the Quispam pissed up. Like I brought it over for Lady Lee to drink out of, and I can't remember exactly the order of events, but I sat the bag that had the glassware down on a chair, and it got knocked over.
Yeah,
and it might have been because I was pissed drunk and tugged and didn't put it on the chair right.
Stupid fancy glasses are meant to be broken. The only time you better not break a glass is when you immediately enter a beer festival. And like before you even get a pour in it, you just drop it on the floor. Like you
must have a. Well, I think you had at least one sample in that glass before. I remember.
I wasn't there that year.
Yeah, that was like. Wasn't that like the second Albino Round Beer Fest?
No, it was.
I don't know. I'm probably the only one that's been to all of them. So you've been to most of them, haven't you, Jamie?
I was at 2014 or 2015 would have been my first one. Then I missed a year, went to another one. I've been to like 3, I believe. Yeah, 3.
Okay.
I've been to all of them except the original, which Nick was at.
Yeah,
And
14 was the original. You know, I went to all of them.
Lee was at.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's continue on with Le Beer. Let's circle back and say, Red Beard. All right, actually, no, I got to read the history. Fuck. Getting everything out of order. I'm just that tired after work today. And I kind of rehashed the history that I did last time that didn't fully write. So bear with me. So Barncat, Artisan Ales is founded by avid homebrewers Matt McDonald and Jeremy Skorochid, however you pronounce his last name, in Cambridge, Ontario, with the aim to create simple beers with big flavors. Skorochid was well known in amateur brewing circles for his Barncat themed beers. So when going pro, the name was the natural choice for the pair's endeavor. The brewery opened in April of 2016 with Act 1 APA as their first beer, selling out in their first weekend. Other beers include, from Barncat, include Calico Pills, which we had sort of. We drank it on a Pilsner night. Rat Queen Imperial Stout. I've had. I'll get into which one I've had, but the Rat Queen Imperial Stout that we're about to drink tonight is part of an entire series of beers that they make themed on Rat Queen. There's the Purr Sour Ale. There's the Triple the Juice Triple IPA. Rewaka Double IPA. The Juice Pale Ale. Golden Era IPA, Golden Era IPA we did 1 week on Beer Analysis 101. And of course, they got a ton more beers as well, including, what's that, Mother Night? What was that? It was an Imperial Stout or something big and barrel aged.
The one that I brought that you had was Double Barrel Mother Night.
Yeah.
And it was like maple syrup and like it was a good one.
It was good, but it was pretty insane at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of pretty insane, we're taking a look, of course, at Rat Queen de la Muerte, which is the Mexican spiced chocolate edition of Barncat's classic Rat Queen Imperial Stout, which this version weighs in at 11.5% ABV and is brewed with chocolate, Ceylon cinnamon, vanilla, and chili peppers. First brewed as a special bottled release in December of 2017, it was re-released in cans at the brewery in August of 2021. And I'm just going to add a little bit more here because I couldn't confirm whether or not they still brew with this combination of chilies, but I thought it was kind of neat when I read it. The original had mulatto, pasilla, and guajillo chili peppers. So that's kind of cool. Actually, like they did mention them the last time they brewed it, which chili peppers they did. So who knows what they brewed with this time, but it was kind of still neat if anybody's curious that they used a strange combination of different chilies rather than just the bog standard, which is, I thought it was cool. Anyway, so I've read the history. Really isn't much to read for comments right now. It's just Mr. Scott Myers in the chat.
Hi, Scott.
Saying, why aren't you on yet? Can you even see my chats? What's next week's beer? Can you see my chats? Okay, that really covers up the and I doubt Scott's going to be offended. Well, he might be, but I don't care. Anyway, so let's get over to histories with the said beer, and let's go over to Red Beard, the Beard of Red. Have you ever had this or anything else really from the Rat Queen series from Barncat at all? 9. That I okay. Thank you for your kind words there, Red Beard. Let's go over to Greg. I know you've had some stuff from Barncat in the past.
The only rat liquid I've had is rat liquid that Jamie fed me from his Manteet, and I believe it was a barrel aged Rat Queen. At least that's what I checked in. It was whatever Jamie brought to the bottle share. And I remember it being quite tasty, even though I didn't actually rate it. But I remember it being good. So thank you, Jamie. Your rat teats are excellent.
Your rat feces are excellent.
Rat teats. I assume that's how they make Rat Queen. They just milk it out of Jamie.
No.
I thought you were going to say something like Rat Queen is actually like the beer that's made from the Rat Queen's milked teats and shit like that. I'm actually kind of disappointed.
Yes, and I'm implying that Jamie is the Rat Queen.
Oh, I see what you're
Sorry if I wasn't too subtle about that.
Greg, you're never subtle.
No,
I'm trying to take a picture and it's focusing on your face.
Hi, Nick.
All right. Anyway, let's go over to it is terrifying. Let's go over to Jamie. Now, this is one person who is going to have a significant history with this beer, or even anything from Barncat. Consider you live the most convenient to it. So let's see.
Yeah.
How many different Rat Queens have you had?
Okay, I stupidly did not sign into Untapped. I'm just looking at it right now. Just give me a second. And I'm going to see how many Barncat beers I've had. And there's been a bunch that I have not checked in. So bear with me.
You're a bad checker inner.
So I've checked in 19 different beers from Barncat. I've had the barrel-aged Rat Queen, the barrel-aged Grand Reserve, double barrel Mother Night, which is the one that you've had, Nick. Barrel-aged Rat Queen de la Muerte 2017, which I don't think I actually liked as much as this one. Just normal Rat Queen. And then, yeah, different years of Rat Queen. So I've had quite a few. I've had a lot of their barley wines, a lot of their different types of IPAs, a couple of there was one beer that I didn't particularly love by them that they did. What was it? Sorry, I should have done this a long time ago here.
It's all good. Wouldn't be the first person.
Oh, there's so there was one. It was a coconut latte beer by Barncat, which was one of the few that was kind of a miss for me, and it was a just coffee milk stout that was like overly sweet. But other than that, pretty much everything that I've had from Barncat has been a winner. Great brewery. Calls them the best brewery in Canada, but that's probably just so that he can get there early, like he did this past week.
Yeah, and also, I mean,
text me. Hey, I'm gonna be there when they open. So I work like 5 minutes from the place, so I go right over there. And he was here an hour ago. Fucking guy.
You're really freaking local and work next door, and like
yeah.
So he's good, coming up from
good troll by your.
Now that some of us can get it though, he won't like it. So
yeah. So yeah, extensive.
Yeah, like the Muerte one is a little too accessible for you. So
yeah, no, it's not cool anymore.
No. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, because and I might as well. I want to say first of all, thank you, Jamie, and I'm going to pan over to myself because my history.
You paid for it, man. You paid for it.
Well, technically, I did. Yeah,
that's true. So actually, Jamie should be thanking you, Nick.
Well, I did give you free bubble wrap though. So
you did. And glassware, which one of these glasses actually survived. So thank you.
I got a very unusual toy.
Was it a sex toy?
No.
I gave you the.
Could be a sex toy.
The Brewmaster.
Oh, you sent him a Brewmaster.
Oh, come on! Anything can be a sex toy.
The Brewmaster. All right, let's get. Thank you for interrupting, but let's get it out of me because I was going to say something about Jamie is pretty much the source of my entire history with Barncat. I think the first time I ever did something from Barncat, I had the I don't know which barrel it was aged in, but I had the barrel aged Rat Queen back in 2018 at the On the 10th Piss Up at Chris's place. That was 3 years ago. So then the next time I had it, I think that's when I had the double barrel Mother Night. Now, what is the base of Mother Night? Is it a Imperial stout or is it barley wine?
I only had the double barrel Mother Night, and I don't remember. It was so long ago. I know there was a Mother Night that I'm not sure if it was not in a barrel at all or if it was just in one barrel. Joe actually had that. He has a review up on his channel.
Well, yeah, but I was asking like whether it was a barley wine or a stout.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. It's been so long.
Stout.
Yeah, but I don't remember if it's anything to do with Rat Queen or if it's its own recipe. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
According to this, the double barrel Mother Night was aged in rye whiskey and then aged in a single tawny port barrel. So it was like rye, whiskey, and port. That would have been. I never tapped it in, but I had it. I remember it being pretty good.
Yeah, there's a port barrel Rat Queen as well, which is delicious.
Cool. Nice. All right.
Randomly, I think there's somebody else that's kind of here but not here. Nick, did you?
All right, we can debut his because we didn't play him back for the history, but you're right. There is somebody who couldn't be with us tonight, but he did send his virtual presence. So let's bring on the shared screen for Mr. Dan.
Hi, Nick. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Jamie.
Hi, Dan.
Get on with this, shall we? The amount of beers I've had from Barncat has not been that many. It's been a couple, thanks to Jamie. So I've had a couple of beers from them. Have I ever had the Rat Queen or the Rat Queen variations? Because this is a variation of it? No, I have not. Am I looking forward to it? Kind of. So 11.5%, right up my alley. Spiced Imperial Stout, right up my alley. I am really looking forward to this, in all honesty. So that's me in a nutshell. So Nick, take it back, give it to whoever else. I'm done on this portion.
All right.
Sounds dirty.
He's done on this portion, so let's. Now we must talk amongst ourselves and talk about how apparently Scott's offended, trying to spice up this chat with another person watching at this time.
We don't need your spice, Scott. We got spice in this beer.
The spice expands consciousness.
This has got a nice level.
Spice is vital to space travel. Sorry, I've been watching too much Dune lately. I will say this though, Scott. If you hated the 1984 Dune, you might like the new one better. I say that because pretty sure that Scott read the books. I did enjoy that movie though.
Nerd.
Alrighty.
Go watch sports ball instead, like cool people.
Sure, Craig.
I want to play some hockey skaball.
Oh, that was so dumb.
Apparently, I just broke Carrie a little bit.
That was good.
We don't have any comments. We don't have anybody talking. We're just kind of in that talky phase of the.
I'm just I'm not gonna lie. I'm seriously enjoying this beer.
Yeah,
I did watch the new one. I know he saw it. I remember seeing the 1984 version of Dune with Scott, and Scott was bitching and almost throwing things at the screen. He thought it was so bad. And to be honest, it kind of was. I rewatched it there over the weekend, and there's just so much of it, especially at the last half of that movie, that's so fucking rushed. And of course, it was a David Lynch turning it into a David Lynch movie, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking for something accurate to the books.
Yep. Most exciting goddamn thing on the internet right here, right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, what are you expecting me to carry the whole show?
Yes.
Kind of are the host. So
yeah. Well,
yeah.
There's currently
responsible for the flow.
Well, it's kind of dead right now because we're kind of waiting for somebody to actually post comments, but we only have 4 viewers right now. So
there's a lot of like bad.
That's 4 viewers. Like, okay, there's only one Scott. So where's the other 3 people? Tell us everybody else. What you drinking? How you doing tonight? Have you had anything from Barncat? Let us know.
Comments are awesome, but at the same time, if they're not coming, that's when you got to put in the work, man. You got to fucking I personally think this is a fantastic stout. Everybody here, top of your head, 3 of like your favorite bourbon barrel aged imperial stouts you've ever had in your life.
Well, this isn't bourbon barrel aged. This is just straight imperial stout.
than straight imperial stouts. Sorry, I thought this was bourbon barrel aged. You usually don't get an 11.5.
No, usually you don't get 11.5% of ABV out of a beer unless it's bourbon, like barrel aged. Some, I mean, it all comes down to how they brewed the original recipe. But yeah, this one does not specify that it's barrel aged in anything, and that's kind of impressed because I was looking at the specs of like the other Rat Queens, and they were like they're all like a lot of the other ones are barrel aged, but it's like 11.8% is the typical barrel aged Rat Queen, and this is not far behind it, 11.5. And usually when you barrel age something, that gets a little heavier.
Yeah,
and
for
yes,
me,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, for me, the list of stouts, like pretty much all the stuff from Barncat would be high on the list. Like I could make a list of just Barncat, their stouts. But then I love the old school. Like there's 1050, Old Rasputin.
1050.
I had 1050. That was delicious.
1050 is an excellent stout. I mean, I think
nice
Amsterdam Tempest is one of the best stouts personally for
Amsterdam
me.
Tempest is pretty tasty.
Tempest was good. I finally tried that not that long ago.
And what's the? Fuck, I was thinking another one. Well, this is a flavored stout, but there's a beer I wish GLB would re-release called Imperial Bout. It was a coffee flavored Imperial stout they released. Well, I'm gonna say like 4 years ago at this point, and it was like 12% or something, and it was fucking fantastic. Best coffee stout I've ever had.
I could kind of go along with Jamie when he said just going off the one brewery. I could. Sawdust City has made a few Imperial stouts that I've been a big fan of.
Mm-hmm. The thing I love, like I've always liked the UVB series, but this year was probably of the 3 years that I've purchased the full 4-pack or whatever. This year I purchased like each one individually, and I don't know. This year, like I still love the original, but all the flavored ones were kind of just, I don't know. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought the original was the best of the 4 this year.
I like 2 of them. I like 2 of the flavored ones as my favorites. The original was fine, and then one of the flavored ones was kind of just, it was fine but boring.
Yeah, I'd say the coconut one was pretty good, but with those, it's the exact same beer with a different flavor to it.
Yeah.
So they're all very similar. Where with the thing I love about these Rat Queen beers, the original Rat Queen, it's very different as far as the taste. It has kind of more like there's a little bit of that soy sauce taste to it, like, and not in a bad way, but it's a little more of a I don't know. I can't think of the right word to describe it, but there's just that oomph of just the beer itself. There's no added flavor. It's a really nice beer, but then the port version it's a completely awesome port tasting beer. This one, the spiced version of this, I'll get into the taste of that, but like each beer could be its own thing, and it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't taste like just different versions of the same beer. They're completely different beers, all of them.
Nice.
Very nice. Actually, I was thinking one beer that we don't even think of anymore. Or one beer that came to mind that I'm surprised nobody mentioned was Pesce Mortel. That's a good Imperial stout.
That was a good one. That's another great coffee beer. Unfortunately, I haven't seen that in LCBO in forever. And if you get it in the States, it's fucking expensive.
I'd love that. That'd be a great one to beer analysis at some point if we could all get it.
As far as I know, that has not been in the LCBO in
many years,
6-7 years at least.
Yeah,
they have it at Brouhaha.
We had it here once, but it was like 4 years ago.
I was going to say, if that comes back to the LCBO now, I don't imagine it would be this price. But when it came to the LCBO last time, it was $10 a 4-pack of bottles. I will fucking buy.
Jesus Christ. Buy the shit out of that.
Yeah. Just a shopping cart filled with them.
Yeah, I'm just going to literally, I'll go to the LCBOs, fill a shopping cart with them. I don't care. I'll happily spend, $300-400 just to have a supply of that beer forever. And I'll send it out so we can all anal it together. And their bottles.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, like the time that Pesce Mortels actually showed up here, it was like I think $16 for a 4-pack or $18 for a 4-pack, which I'd happily pay.
Yeah,
because that's a fucking amazing beer.
Price. I mean, you're still talking less than $5 a bottle for a 10% delicious beer. It's not bad.
Actually, I bought a bottle of that when I went to Bruja with Guy, and I don't recall drinking it. I wonder if it's in my fridge still.
I thought we drank it at the piss up.
Did we? Okay, maybe we did.
We might have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I might have brought it to the hotel room. I think maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's where I think we drank it there.
I'm shocked.
Jamie's confirming. He
bottles.
Jamie's the one here that watched it. We lived it, but we don't remember what happened.
We lived it, man. We
lived it. We lived it. We don't remember anything. All I remember is Redbeard going back up to the room and puking or something.
Yeah, that was the second night.
That's because you poisoned him with your
poisoning with beers that Greg sent me.
God damn.
Which the rest of us were immune to somehow.
Yeah, well,
I had that pizza beforehand. It could have been my pizza. I don't fucking know. Just something in my stomach was like, "Oh, you're done for the night." Dude.
I just think it was Nick's neglect of his beer that just poisoned.
No, we all would have been sick. Speaking of which, Scott, he says, "Let me start. I'm drinking a diet cherry Pepsi."
There's some excitement.
Some excitement right there. This is actually like this beer here. Like as I'm sipping on it, it's starting to get a bit like it really slowly building, but it's surely building. Like it's actually like the heat on this is actually really nice.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we didn't like wait on it. Like I'm glad that it hasn't faded away or anything like that. Like
it's still.
Oh, it tastes amazing.
When I bought it, I don't remember if I bought 3 cans for myself or just 2, but I definitely had 1, and it's exactly the same as when I bought it, and that's over a month ago, maybe even 2 months now. I don't remember, but
I'm not sure how long like peppers take to fade compared to like hops and shit.
Yeah.
With a coffee.
But yeah, tastes exactly the same as when I sent it out, so it's not like it's faded at all. Why don't you give your thoughts?
All right, let's do it. You might as well get the show on the road. Let's go to Redbeard.
I was actually about to say this reminds me a lot of beer that Full Beard out of Timmins made a while ago. It was like Klingon themed. It was a spice. I don't think it was Imperial stout. I think it was like 6 or 7%, but the spice level is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
This is just spicy chocolate. It's delicious. The smell you can smell the peppers in the smell of it. Like one sip with your nose. But yeah, you can tell it's spicy. And like Nick just said, it's not any kind of instantaneous heat, but as you drink it, it builds and it's a nice slow burn. And then just chocolate. Maybe a little bit of a coffee note. Like for what it is, there's zero hint of it being as insanely high ABV as it is. That's crazy smooth. Just the mouthfeel. It's like a high medium. Not bad. Not thin. I'm gonna go 9.5s across the board. It just not blowing my mind, but it's freaking delicious. Really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Mr. JB.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you, Redbeard. Let's go over to the Gregos de los Muertos.
Hi, Nick. How are you? So yes, I would
bad.
say that I definitely, having not tried this before, it definitely does not taste to me like it's faded at all. I'll also say this fantastic glass makes it taste a little better. Now, I'm traditionally not a big fan of pepper beers. I'm not a pepperhead like I think Carrie is. I don't mind a little bit of heat in my beer, but I need it well balanced. And they do a decent job balancing this. It's not amazing, but it's well done. So I don't even know what's in this. I'm assuming there's chocolate in this. No, there's no coffee in this, is there?
No, there's no coffee in this.
See, that's where they fucked up. They should have had coffee in this. That would have made this beer in the upper echelon for me. And unfortunately, it's not. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. Don't get me wrong. But having tasted something like Prairie Bomb, I don't know if you ever tasted this, but it's basically this beer just with coffee added, and that one's also barrel aged. It's also more expensive than this. That being said, it also blows this beer out of the water, and that's where my comparison is. No matter how my brain goes, that's where my comparison is, and the two are not in the same league. So to me, this is a little overly pepper. I don't like that much pepper in my beer personally. If you like pepper and chocolate, if that's your jam, this is an awesome beer for me. I would like this. The amount of chocolate's fine. Pepper I'd like toned down, and I'd like some coffee here. That's what I want. That's what would make this beer perfect for me. As it is, as a basically all across the board, both for style, I'm gonna say it's an 8 because it's well done. It's not amazing, but it's well done. And personal preference, I'm also gonna go for an 8. It is a good beer. I can't really say anything. I might sound a little negative. I can't say anything bad about it. Just that I've had not so many, but I've had beers that are just so much better than this and just to know that this beer is almost there, but they just fucked it up and they could have made this a 10, but they didn't. It upsets me. So it's an 8.
All right. So it's for style, it was 8 overall.
8 all around. Really good beer.
Words.
Really good beer. I'm sorry if I sound a bit negative, but it is a really good beer. It's just not quite up there for me.
And because Greg just finished, I wanted to mention one beer that he didn't think of is Licking Hole Creek, Heir Apparent.
I love Licking Hole Creek. That was a great beer, actually.
Oh, not Heir Apparent.
That was a spice beer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that one was actually fantastic when I had that. Now, I bought a lot of them, and they weren't so good once you aged them a little bit, but they were fantastic fresh. And when they first came in,
cheap as hell.
They were like $3 a can or something like that. Like, it was ridiculous. Unfortunately, now they raised the price. Last time they released them, they're like $4.70 a can. But
yeah, well, I'd still fucking pay that for that beer.
As would I, but not as amazing as when it's $3 a can.
Yeah,
not wrong. Alrighty, so thank you, Greg. Let's get over to the man of the hour, Mr. Hornets.
Homer.
Hi, Homer.
No, I'm looking at your hat.
Oh yeah, Hornets.
All right.
So Greg has to get some of that prairie. What is it? Prairie Bomb?
Prairie Bomb, yes.
Yeah. Next time you're able to get that, I'm assuming it's when you go to like Detroit or whatever.
My brother-in-law is coming down this weekend. I've asked him if he can get me a few bottles of it, so I might be able to get a few. But I don't know.
Tell him to fill his trunk. I'll buy some.
Yeah,
I want one.
Yeah. I would love to try that beer. I've heard you talk about it numerous times, and never had it myself.
It is a great beer. The only downside to it is it's in the States, so sometimes you get it from a bottle shop. It might be a year old. That's the only problem with it.
Yeah, but I can't get it at all. So trying a year-old one would be great too. Mm-hmm. Whatever. So yeah, to this beer, 8's not a bad score, Greg. 8 out of 10, whatever.
I enjoy this beer quite a bit. But.
Yeah, no, a lot of people wouldn't like this beer because of the spice, but for me, it's great. Like, I love spice beers. This is like raked over. I know Redbeard loves that beer from Wellington. That's a notch up from this. This is not super spicy, but it does build. Like, if you're having a few sips over time and continuing that, it builds in your mouth and has that nice, like, those old packets that you would open up with the chocolate powder that you would, like, when you were a kid, you'd put your spoon in and get a little bit of that chocolate powder, just like eat it right out of the
fun dip or something.
Well, no, the chocolate powder that you would like mix with milk or what, like to make
like Nestle Quick,
something like that. Yeah, like you get a little bit of that powdered chocolate, like in a good way. It doesn't taste powdery, but it's got a nice, you get that sticky lip thickness from the stout. It's just an all around good beer. I find it really well balanced. I love the level of heat. I'm gonna give it 9s all around.
Nice,
love it. Good beer. And other Rat Queens are usually around there, like 8.75 to 9.25, something like that. The one they have right now, the port one, I love port. That's for me like 9.5. Like,
nice.
So yeah, they're pretty much all the Rat Queens I've been giving really high marks, and this is another one.
I can imagine that'd be delicious because I'm a fan of port too, and I imagine that could be really.
It's just like what barrels did they use for Whiny Bastard from Nickelbrook? Was that port, or was that Pinot Noir?
I thought those were the Pinot Noir, but I don't know. I would have to go look at that. It's been years since I've had that.
I'm the wrong guy to ask about. I absolutely hate that beer.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of that one either.
Yeah, you guys hate it.
I loved it the first year or two it came out, and then it became an overly acidic mess, and that's why I haven't bought it in about 4 years. Because
the 2 times I've tried it, a couple years apart, they were both dumpers. It was fucking gross.
Like I say, well, no, with what Jamie was saying there with raked over, I find this to be a hell of a lot more spicy than raked over.
Oh, really?
Myself, yeah. Like this beer, it's I'm loving it. Like it is like there's a bit of it. I'm sweating like under my eyes a bit here. It is. It's actually building to the point where it's making me sweat.
Well, that's what I find. Like it's building, but it's not going away either. Like the first couple of sips were mild.
Yeah, maybe for me with raked over, I have a memory of it being more hot. Is probably because and I didn't also do an analysis like this where I probably drank a little faster. Where this, I'm still just kind of nursing it, so it could be that.
I had raked over about a week ago. I think to me this is spicier, but there's more balance to it. So I think it's when you get something that's really spicy, but like when you're eating spicy food, but you're eating it mixed with something, like it doesn't seem as bad. And that's how I'm feeling from this one. Is the raked over I don't think was as hot, but I think it was more of a nuisance to me than this is. Like this is kind of just there, but I'm enjoying the other flavors.
Yeah, and raked over, they're trying to, go a little extreme.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. So let's get down to moi. Might as well let me talk. I kind of want to follow on the thought of like the building up with heat because I remember the first couple of sips of this beer that I had. It was kind of like, okay, well, I barely noticed the peppers are there, but as I'm drinking and I've got this much left in my beer, my mouth is not so much on fire, but I definitely noticed that my mouth is burning. I'm not like in pain or anything. I just noticed that like it's built up to the point like it hasn't died off like I would have thought like that. My recollection of the raked in was that I took a sample of it, but I remember it not so much burning right away, but my mouth was hot by the time I had a sample of it. And I split the can in like 2, 3, or 4 ways with somebody else. I think it was like that. It was that mystery beer. I think you did that mystery beer at the Well and Piss Up, didn't you, Jamie?
It was it was one of the first beers at the Well and Piss Up.
Yeah. I remember being hot. And there's another beer that kind of really reminds me of it. And it's weird because it's a pumpkin beer, but there was like a nice pumpkin beer made by Boxing Rock, which is a brewery out of Nova Scotia, that did a habanero pumpkin ale, and it kind of had that had this level of burn to it. It was really nice and satisfying beer, probably the best pumpkin beer I'd ever had. Anyway, so let's get down to my thoughts on this one here. Let's go with I found that one of the things that really kind of the detracting facts was the appearance. Was the when I first poured it poured like a dark brown. Like I noticed I could see a lot of light coming through it when I was pouring it out. It looked black and still looks black in the glass, but it had this weird. It didn't look like pouring motor oil like you kind of wanted of some imperial stouts. And the head dissipated really quickly. Had a little bit there, but I couldn't even get enough to head out of this thing to even take a good photo of it with head. But when it did fade, and you can see it on my glass, it's got this weird sedimentary film that's kind of left on the outside, and this probably comes down because they used a lot of like spices and cinnamon and a whole bunch of shit in this beer. So it's just kind of weird in an appearance where it's got this weird sedimentary film and didn't have a lot of head. But I that's as far as my complaints about this beer goes, because this thing tastes amazing. Like it's full of chocolate. I got the taste of dark roast coffee, which skews towards like black licorice finish and cinnamon. Like it's like chocolate dark roast coffee. Sorry, it starts a little on the sweet side, then goes into like this bitter black licorice, finishing off with a little touch of an earthy finish, which leaves behind this mild pepper spice and it lingering on along with like a taste of like chocolate syrup, like the dark cocoa, not super sweetened chocolate you get out of like it's like basically putting chocolate syrup straight on ice cream or something like that and then eating it. Or if you ever make a chocolate milk when you're a kid and you just basically pour in like half a glass with syrup or something like that, so you give yourself diabetes. It's just kind of got that really dark chocolate kind of taste to it,
diabetes
along with and as I mentioned already a couple of times, it does have that spice. Like it starts off mild, and then as you keep drinking it, it really starts to build and build and build and build. It doesn't seem to go away super quickly, which I do like that. If you're drinking something that's specifically a spicy beer, then it's really is like Rat Queen de la Muerte, because it just kind of like the Remember the Dead kind of comes like this undead beer. Outside of that, it's super easy drinking. Like the mouthfeel, the body on this thing has got a good imperial stout body, but this really doesn't taste any more than it would be like a 7 or 8% beer. This thing drinks super easy, and it's incredibly dangerous. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5 for the style, but it's 9 for overall. Like this is really good. I love this.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you, Jamie, for sending this to me, because this is awesome.
Cheers, Jamie.
Yeah, and it's that spice is what you get more in your throat than any alcohol burn at all. Like it's just so super smooth. If that spice wasn't there, it would just be like having chocolate milk. Like just be able to down it in seconds, kind of thing.
It's like chocolate milk, and I still get that distinctive like black licorice kind of taste. It's almost got that licorice root anise kind of flavor as well.
Oh, I love anise flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget the other guest.
Yes, I know, and I'm not finished yet. Thank you.
I apologize.
There's one more thing I wanted to say. Like going back to the Licking Hole Creek, I found the Licking Hole Creek was a bit more chocolatey rather than, it didn't have any of the licorice, but it had maybe a similar amount of spice. Maybe not as maybe this is more spicy, but I think I like the Licking Hole Creek better. But at the same time, they're both fantastic beers.
I personally didn't find Licking Hole Creek anywhere near as hot as this beer.
Well.
Yeah, I didn't get I didn't get as much spice as this. This is like
we can criticize each other's holes later. So let's talk about. Let's go to Dan.
Yes, we will.
We're just nice, sweet smell, like a chocolate note. Not really getting a spice off there. It smells decent enough. The head's dissipated quite a bit off there. Really not getting much for carbonation. Taste. That is gorgeous. That is a spiced imperial stout. I have a tingling in the back of my throat from the spices. The thickness is good, solid thickness. It has got a sweetness to it. It does have a stout and roasted malt behind it. It is a heavy beer, but the alcohol is very well masked. Maybe because there's a spice that just numbs the throat and you don't even know that there's an alcohol there. You do have a small warning going down here. Aside from that, damn, that's a beautiful beer. 11.5%, I wouldn't even notice that. So for style, 4.5 out of 5 or 9 out of 10, depending on how you're working the scoring system. Beautiful, beautiful style. Absolutely love it. One of my favorite styles, so this is right up my alley. Enjoyability, again, spice is hitting. The Imperial Stout is there. The ABV is hidden and well masked. You know, I can't lie, but, well, I could lie and say that's horrible. But at the same point in time, that is a beautiful Imperial Stout. It's a beautiful spiced Imperial Stout. It is exactly what it's supposed to be. So I'm really enjoying this beer. It's going down quickly. And I have to give this a 4.75 out of 5 or 9.5 out of 5 for enjoyability. This is really beautiful. And I'm very fortunate to have this. So thank you very much, Jamie. This hits every mark I have for stouts. This is exactly what I look for in a big beast of a stout for me. So yeah, is there anything disappointing about it? Not really. Not really at all. That right there is exactly what it's supposed to be. So cheers, guys. Thanks for having me record myself and showing my ugly fat ass on here. We'll see you guys real soon. Cheers.
Wow, that's self-deprecating. We don't believe that here.
So
Glad you caught that, Dan.
Did he say what his overall was? Or that was his overall was 9.5. What was his style?
9
for style?
9.
Hey, Nick.
What? Yes.
My headphones weren't working. Can you play that again? Just kidding.
I mean, I can if you want. You want to suffer through that again?
I want to hear more about
like, who wants to read the comments? There's a shit ton of
I'm
comments
just kidding.
now that Ewart and
Red
Beer can read some comments while I'm doing the numbers.
You were here, so I'm gonna eat chips now.
Yeah, we got Ewart in here saying, "Geez, Dan, get a room," while Dan was on, and then says he must say Dan is the most professional reviewer of the lot of us. Then Dan shows up saying, "Get a room, Ewart." Winky face.
Wow.
Ewart saying, "Wait, is this pre-recorded? I've been duped, bamboozled." And Dan caught his mistake, saying 9.5 out of 5. Teku, what a fraud. Probably read his tasting notes like Nick does. Dan saying, "Learn to split myself finally." I'm not quite sure what he means by that.
That's a sex thing.
Teku says, "I love Alberta and all the people from Alberta." Scotland says, "Now people show up. Dan, I was getting dinner, that's why." Teku, does Jamie have a green screen behind him? Oh, teal screen. And Lee, shut Jamie up. He's fatter than Ewart.
Jesus.
All right.
That's pretty fat.
And we're caught up.
I still got to find the background image.
My God. Could have done this yesterday.
Nah, I was busy.
Don't judge Nick.
Busy watching movies.
I mean, admittedly, it's fun to judge Nick, but don't judge Nick.
Yeah, you were.
I turned my quilt around.
Ah.
That's very brave of you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Now show us where the quilt touched you.
He's touching the quilt appropriately right now.
Wow,
He just lift it up and let us see behind it or something. I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, wow. Does the quilt have any holes in it?
No, Jesus.
I'm only asking for a friend, Nick.
You were just watched Dune, not great, but way better than Event Horizon, apparently. And then Nick has terrible taste in movies. Obviously. You want to try it again, Ewart? That's not how
Ewart.
That is not how obviously is spelled at all. Jamie, let us see the pink side of the quilt. Okay. I don't recall it being pink. Or Jamie, he's making a dirty comment. I see how it is.
Oh, he's a dirty boy.
We saw the quilt's labia. Nice Halloween size bag you stole from your kids, right?
No. I just bought extra because I'm fat.
You should steal shit from your kids. You know what? They don't deserve it.
I didn't. I bought extra.
You don't want to see your kids get overweight and fat like us. You want to eat all their candy.
No, what you need to do is eat all their candy, then send it to Jimmy Kimmel.
Make sure they don't make the same mistakes we did.
Did you actually see Jimmy Kimmel like a couple days ago? Or
yeah, it was a short one, but it was funny.
Well, yeah, because he didn't ask anyone to do it this year, but like a couple hundred people still did.
Yeah.
That's funny shit. Where the parents pretend they ate their kids' candy after Halloween.
Yeah, it's a normal skit they have on there.
Yeah.
No, it's I love anything that makes kids cry makes me happy.
I can't. Well, actual injuries that like don't happen in a funny way don't make me laugh. But like, my favorite thing ever is kids walking and a random cat flying in out of nowhere and just like attacking, knocking them to their ass, and then taking off. I've seen a few of those, and they never fail to like.
Yeah,
make the
cats are dicks. They do that.
Oh, so funny.
Cats in general are dicks.
I think we need to keep
Cute,
this
furry
view.
dicks.
You were saying we need to keep this review going for a few hours at least because he says he's thoroughly enjoying it right now.
Sure. All right. Let's bring this episode closer to a conclusion.
Yeah,
So
let's finish.
actually pretty highly rated.
So
And yes, Greg, I
basically-
stole your picture.
So basically, yay, thank you. So basically, I'm the Ashley Sexton of this episode.
Well, there was no good images on Google search that I could use for this, so I just decided to use the one we posted.
Very brave of you, Nick.
So the question has been asked. Let the people know now.
I do see that, and yes, it is Tekumuri because not only can he go fuck himself, love you, Yurt. We're gonna do collective arts, audiovisual logger. This can was graciously donated to me by Lady Lee.
Lady Lee.
Because I don't really want to go and buy more beer. And besides, this is beer we have not done before. Apparently, it's got this QR code where you can actually look up indie music. So we'll talk about that next week. But we're going to do this, which, despite the fact that this has been in my fridge for 3 weeks, this is still fresher than anything I can get at NB Liquor. So whatever.
That's the spirit, Nick.
This is a beer that I've been meaning to do for a while. So it's like, hey, let's lager it up next week with a craft lager. So we did the Imperial Stout tonight. I'm good. Anybody else getting like this nice warming sensation after drinking that? Like I feel like I'm spiced up and warm, and the spice is expanding my consciousness.
You're drunk, Nick.
Like you're ready to take on the world.
All right.
And just do it, Nick. You can do it.
Do it. Run outside and pull your dick out.
Go for that bike ride.
This is that light behind me. You go fuck yourself, Hubert.
Pull your dick out.
Anyway, I'm looking at the rest of the comments there. None of them are really worth reading. There's Scott was in the chat. Lee was in the chat. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lady Lee.
Jimmy's fatter than Hubert. I was like, Greg?
I didn't say it. But yours pretty fat, if we're being honest.
True.
Like, we're actually a little worried.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor guy.
We're worried about your belt.
Ha!
Oh.
Oh. Keeps adding extra notches to it.
Oh God. It's like, guys, your belt's doing the same thing as your mother, as your kid's mother, crying uncle, screaming
Nick,
uncle.
Whoa.
All right, that's it. We're done here. We have 6 viewers and we've got super professional. So we're gonna sign it off. I want to thank everybody for watching. Tune in next week for when we do Collective Arts audiovisual logger. We will chat with you folks later.
No more 11% beers for Nick.
Add more holes to that belt like Paul to